apparently has a contingency plan if something goes awry. Jeremy Fowler said, based on conversations he had during last week's NFL league meetings, Kirk Cousins, at best, at very least, on the Steelers' radar. Fowler said the Steelers were interested earlier this offseason in the possibility of acquiring Cousins. It was reported last month that the Falcons had discussions with multiple teams regarding a possible trade of Cousins, but Atlanta was looking for a team to take on a significant portion, at least $20 million of the remaining $37.5 million guaranteed on Cousins' contract. The Falcons' asking price might be more reasonable now. However, remember, Ocho,
Yeah.
they gave him $50 million to sign last year.
Yes, sir.
And he got 37 guaranteed this year. So he got $100 million coming over the next 3 years for the guarantee.
Yeah.
And when I had we Ocho, and the thing that I said, Ocho, let's just say in the best case scenario,
Right.
he plays 2 years. I said, Ocho, what if he only gives you one?
Which is what he gave us half of one. He gave us half of that one. But listen, as long as the fact that they're even waiting, I'm sure they're probably in talks right now with the Falcons about wanting to acquire Kirk Cousins and paying that $20 million that the Falcons would want them to pay on his salary.
Yeah.
Because I didn't hear waiting on Aaron Rodgers when they have, is it OTAs coming up? Or mini?
They're already in them.
Yeah, like I mean, listen, I know you're a veteran, but I would love, maybe it's just me. If I was in this position, I would love to be there right now.
Yeah, I would too.
I would love to be there. I would love the continuity, getting acclimated with the offense and having that much of a head start, if that's what I really want to do. I don't know, but Aaron, listen, I think he feels like he's played long enough. He doesn't need to be there. The game of football is all the same, and I don't know.
Well, me personally, I think it hurt him in his relationship with not personal relationship, but his own field relationship with some of the receivers in New York.
Yeah, I've heard. I could be wrong that he was throwing with DK.
Yeah,
he was. Okay.
I think was it out here in LA.
Yeah, so I mean, if they were throwing together, then that's. I mean,
you don't realize DK is not the only receiver on the team, right?
Yeah, but he would be he'd be the main guy.
Okay. So James had 20 touchdowns in his rookie season. I'm hoping for 1,500 yards, and we'll say like 10, 20 touchdowns. Do you think that's possible for the Rook?
Absolutely.
I don't know about those 20 touchdowns. 1,500 yards, yes.
Yes, I
20?
like. Yeah,
I'm trying to think, man, you probably got who? That's probably, you got to talk about Gale Sayers. I think Gale Sayers had 20 rush touchdowns his rookie season, and I think that was 1965. Go back and take a look at Gale's numbers. Gale was electric, though. The Kansas comment.
Hey, I like the confidence too, and setting the goals for yourself, setting those type of lofty goals for yourself as a rookie coming in. I like it. I don't think it's going to be as easy as he thinks it's going to be, especially when he gets to see how fast everybody else is.
Just imagine you playing Penn State's defense. That's what everybody in the NFL is.
Hey, I think a little better than that, though.
That's what I'm saying. And who's going to be able to lift coverage off you? What receivers you got? Now, you got Bowers. He's really good, and I think y'all work hand in hand,
Mm-hmm.
You want to start drop that safety down in the box, and now Bowers get an opportunity to work one-on-one. So I do think 1,500 yards might be possible, might be very doable. I say 10, 12 touchdowns, but 20, man, bro, that's a lot of tubs, Ocho.
It is.
What was Gale's numbers his rookie year? His second year is when he had those six touchdowns in a game.
His first year, he even had 67 yards, but 14 touchdowns.
Yeah, but they only played 12 games back then. He definitely would have had 20 touchdowns if they'd have played 5 more games. They had 14 games in 65? He came out in 64, right? Yeah, it was him and Buckers. I think he and Buckers were like, Okay. I think 1,500 yards is realistic, but that's still a lot of yards, even though it's 17 games. That's still a lot of yards, Ocho.
Listen, I like.
That's 80 yards a game.
You know how hard that is?
I do. Yes, I know how hard.
Listen, he gonna have to have some games where he hit
He's
it
well over 100.
and get but I'll holler at you. How was his 40 time? Just curious.
What did he run the 40 in? Did he run the 40? Probably what, 4.4, 4.5?
He doesn't have
He ran 4.45.
Okay, he didn't.
He got
Okay,
good speed.
he got good speed. But I like it though. But 1,500.
That's a lot of yards and 10 to 20 touchdowns.
And this is
Ocho,
yeah.
each NFL team's GOAT. Can you see that right there? They got each NFL team's GOAT. I think FanDuel did that.
Yeah, matter of fact, I saw this earlier. Hold on.
Do you got any objections?
Hold on. Hey, Ash, if you can hear me, can you text that to my phone? My eyes are bad. I like this. Somebody sent it to me earlier too. But I was at the concert, so I wasn't able to Ash heard me?
Yeah, she sent it to you.
Okay, hold on, it's coming. I like stuff like this too.
I mean,
You have any objections based on what you see so far? Okay, there we go. I got it now. Larry Fitzgerald, absolutely. Matt Ryan, I would have loved to put Julio Jones there instead, but
Yep.
would it be Matt Ryan? I totally understand. The quarterback. Ravens, Ray Lewis, of course.
Well, I don't know when it's all said and done if it might not be Lamar.
Lamar. Okay, yeah, when it's all said and done, yeah, probably. But you got to understand, Ray gave you 2 Super Bowls now.
Gave 2 Super Bowls, 2-time Defensive Player of the Year. He's universally regarded as the best middle linebacker to ever play the game. I was very fortunate to play with him for 2 years and know what he put in it to become what he became. So I ain't got no problem with that.
Yeah,
Brucey, I played against Brucey. Yep, Buffalo. Yep.
I mean, Jim. I mean, I think for the Bills, it could have gone 2 ways. It could have been Jim Kelly or it could have been Bruce Smith. You can't go wrong either way. What do you think?
I think Brucey.
Okay.
And plus, Brucey was a 2-time Defensive Player of the Year, all-decade player in the 80s and the 90s. Now we'll see what Josh Allen does. Can he take him to the Super Bowl and unseat him?
Right.
Cam, okay, yeah.
Absolutely. And I think Cam also, with Cam, you can slash Luke Kuechly, even though it was short-lived.
What about Pep? What about Julius Peppers?
I forgot about
Steve
Pep.
Smith. It's tougher than you think for Carolina.
Yeah, it is.
But Cam, quarterback, MVP, took him to the Super Bowl. I'm cool with that.
Yeah.
Walter Payton, okay.
Yeah, hands down. Anthony Munoz, absolutely.
Jim Brown, ain't nobody unseating him.
No.
Emmett, okay, yeah, I can live with that.
Over
John,
Troy?
okay. Uh-huh.
Over Troy?
Yeah.
Okay.
2-time. You do realize Emmett was a 2-time league MVP, right? John, okay, I'll live with that. That's a good one. Barry, yep, absolutely. Aaron Rodgers, wow.
Over Brett?
I'm not surprised. I mean, he got 4 MVPs. Brett got 3. He was a Super Bowl MVP winner.
Right.
More touchdowns, fewer interceptions. I'm cool. I'm perfectly cool with that.
Okay.
And they had some great players. You got Bart Starr, James Lofton's in the Pro Bowl. My brother's going to the Pro Bowl. You have Ray Nitsky, Willie Davis, Herb Adderley. They got Paul Hornung, Taylor.
Right.
Yes. Aaron Rodgers. J.J. Watt. Yes.
Flash.
Peyton Manning. Absolutely. Even though with Johnny Unitas and they got some players. Yes.
Hold on. Now you skipped. Now that Houston's one. Now I would slash Andre Johnson as well.
Well, first of all, that's with JJ 3 defensive players of the year, Ocho.
Okay.
I mean, you could probably make a case he's the top 5 defensive player of all time with what he was able to do those years. He's the only guy to have multiple 20-sack seasons.
Okay.
I can live with that. Peyton Manning, even though you got Johnny Unitas, you got some great players, Marvin Harrison, Reggie Wayne, you've got some great players that played there, but for me, it's
DJ.
Peyton. Now, I was a little surprised by this, Fred Taylor.
What, you surprised?
Yeah, I thought they'd probably go with Tony Baselli.
Oh, probably one of the greatest left tackles of all time.
Yep.
Yeah.
But Fred had longevity. Baselli got hurt. His shoulders gave out on him. As a matter of fact, I had a great conversation with him when he was at the last Super Bowl. I was on a panel with him. So Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah, goes without saying. Hey, what about
Marcus Allen?
Raiders pick? Yes.
Raiders, Marcus, yeah. But, look, they've had some great players. They got a lot of Hall of Famers.
Exactly. That's why I just said.
But Marcus, man, look, you got to understand, he and Al had a really falling out. He was blocking for Bo Jackson. LT, absolutely. LT was, I was fortunate enough to play in the tail end of my career against LT, and they had some great players: Kellen Winslow, Dan Fouts, Phillip Rivers, Gates, Fred Dean was